Welcome to This Podcast is Making Me Thirsty, the number one destination for Seinfeld fans. This is Two Up and Two Down. Here's our producer, Chris, to start us off.
All right, guys, welcome back. Today's episode that we're going to discuss is The Seven, which is a great season 7 episode, in my opinion. All right, Chris, let's begin with you. What's your first one-up for this episode?
All right, my one-up for Larry David's final season, The Seven, it's got to be, and it's consistent throughout the series, is George eating spaghetti at the when he's eating dinner there. And he mentions, I could marry your daughter. It's just, it brought us back to classic George where, you know, it's all about him just eating. And I love when he eats spaghetti. So one up, George eating spaghetti.
That's a good pick. Nice. Tony, over to you. What is your first one up for this episode?
You guys see that? I don't know if you can see it in my notes. George eating spaghetti. Literally wrote that down, but I don't want to repeat. Let's try and get a different up in here. George eating spaghetti. No, my up is going to be, you know what my up is here? My up is the Kramer fixing Elaine's back. Most notably, the wise man once taught me the healing powers of the body's pressure points. He sells T-shirts outside the World Trade Center. Always got a kick out of that line. I just like how he comes in and kind of does his thing there. Just kind of walks in and does his thing. It's really just a throwaway line, but not my favorite episode. So I'm finding some ups where I can. Kramer with the old wise man selling T-shirts by the Trade Center is my first thumbs up.
No, I'm glad you mentioned Kramer because I think this is a solid episode of Kramer's. So over to you, Chris. What's your second one up for this episode?
Second up, a difficult episode and not a strong episode. So you're looking for good lines. And for some reason, when George comes back, it tells Jerry about the name fiasco. When Jerry says he found some other names, it's how about Mug Costanza or Ketchup? That's a pretty girl for a name. For some reason, I don't know, Jerry mentioning Mug Costanza and Ketchup as a pretty girl for a name always gets a chuckle for me. So that would be my second one up for the 7.
All right. Very good. Tony, over to you. Your second up for this episode.
Yeah, I agree with both Chris's here. I think Kramer had a solid episode, and I think Jerry had a solid episode. I think not only that line, but a lot of Jerry's lines. He does have a few jokes here and there. I think my second up though for this one is the Newman solving the bike dilemma. I use it quite often with my daughters. Actually, I tell the story about how Kramer, the true owner of the bike would not want to destroy the bike. I kind of like that. Kramer gives his old "you wise man" to Newman, and getting Newman involved kind of elevates this episode a little bit. So I'm going to go Newman, as the wise man, determining who owns the bike outright.
All right, very good. You both got your 2 ups in, so let's go over to Chris to start the 2 downs and your first one.
Train's coming through, so hold on.
I almost I love, the best line, by the way, while the Kramer, this is Bush League, and he goes to bites the sandwich. I love that line. I wanted to use that. I didn't use it.
I had that as my second, but
the Bush League is such a good
If I was doing this, it would be the whole mooching conversation where
the conversation, you mean with the Pepsi and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into the whole physics of carbonation with you.
Let me jump back in here. Well, it's funny. Tony just mentions the whole Newman and the bike scene. That is my one down. The bike stuff, the Newman being the judge. Again, this is beginning where we're getting cartoonish, splitting a bike in half. That's just not funny. So that kind of bothered me. I tried to like it again this week, watching it again, but it just dragged on a little bit. Who's going to go to Newman to judge this? So the Newman judge scenes with the bike.
All right.
Yeah.
I see your point there. Very good. Tony, your first down of the episode.
All right. Okay. So we're agreeing here, but we're not agreeing. It's interesting because I think the bike thing is my first down. So the overall, Elaine getting the bike down and they're actually arguing. I agree. That's actually my down is just the whole bike thing, if you will. I do like that. I do like Newman's scene. So I guess maybe I'm contradicting myself in a way, but overall it's just Elaine getting the bike down. It's why would she even want the bike? Like we're mentioning, Chris just mentioned. I mean, what is Kramer doing with the bike? I don't love the bike. So the bike's my thumbs down actually, but I like the Newman. I like the Newman solving the problem. He added at least a chuckle for me on that one, but thumbs down is the bike. That's the thumbs down.
All right. That's interesting because I actually see it the other way. I like that Elaine got the bike down on her own and it fell on her. So this way, that's how Kramer had to fix her neck. It's the other part, it's the Newman part with the bike that I don't like. But hey, this is your guys' one-ups and downs. So let's go back to Chris, your second one down.
Second down is pretty obvious if you watch this show. It is George. I mean, him yelling out the window, "Stay calm here," when Susan hates the name Seven, and then again later speaking about the name, it's got cachet up the yin yang. Like, just George, stop yelling. Down.
I got that one. Yeah, I kind of noted that as George being too obsessed with baby names. That also kind of irked me too. But let's go over to Tony, your second down of the episode.
Yeah, I mean, in the interest of the show, I'd rather not agree, but I have to. I can't do this episode and not agree. That is my thumbs down as well. I have the exact things written down. Let's stay calm here. Don't get all crazy. Who was even getting crazy? I don't even know. He just starts yelling out the window for no reason at all. At the end, I'm having sex with the cousin, going the whole thing. One of George's worst episodes. It's a shame, but it's got to be the down. It's got to be, just a yelling, just unfunny Costanza, unfortunately, is my down.
All right. Thank you for that, Tony. Yeah, that was a good one to down. I think it's going to be universal. So let's wrap this up with grades. Chris, back to you. What is your final grade of this episode?
Yeah, I've been struggling with this one. Originally ranked the 7 really poorly in our rankings. Rewatching, I didn't think it was as there's a lot of bad, but nothing really stood out. But I have to stick with my consistent guns here. And the 7 gets a D+. Okay.
Tony, over to you.
Wow. See, interesting, because I agree. I think we ranked it too low in our original rankings. After this rewatch again, I think our original rankings, we were really hammering hard on these bad George episodes. I think the episode had some laughs. I thought, I didn't bring it up, but we talked about it, earlier. I think the Bush League line by Kramer. You're unhappy with our arrangements. I love Jerry. Did you pull it? Did you rank it? Did you crunch it? When he does the whole thing with Elaine, Jerry has some good jokes. I am bumping this episode up, and maybe I'm crazy. Howard's going to go ballistic on me here, but I'm giving this a C. I'm giving the 7 a C. Just a solid, average episode. I probably won't turn it off. That's kind of my grade if I'm dropping it below a C. Will I turn it off? I'll probably keep it on and just watch it again. C for the 7.
Now, I'll just jump in quickly there. I wrote down C- originally here, so it wasn't far off.
I thought about a C-, to be honest with you.
In analyzing a little deeper, we didn't talk about Elaine, but like her walking around with this, the black girl in the black and white dress, a lot of
horrible.
things just didn't.
The black and white dress is horrible. I agree.
Very cute, but a lot of things didn't fit in this episode. Kramer can only carry it so far.
All right. Well, thank you guys for those grades. I'm surprised to hear such low remarks, but that's the nature of this show. So we're going to wrap this one up and on to the next one, guys. Thank you.